Hey guys, how you doing? Hi Tim, how you doing? It's finally happening. We're finally doing it, and I am terrified. I'm so literally terrified, but it's fine. It's going to be great. We've got Frosty Tools. We've got Mario and Korky waiting for us. I just have to make sure that everything is set up correctly. Okay. So yeah, I hope you like the new setup. Oh, I need to do this as well. There he is. Okay, brilliant. I guess without further ado, we'll go and say hello to the guys. Hello.
Hello, welcome.
Welcome to you too. No, thank you for welcoming me.
You're very welcome. All right. Is your stream properly on?
Yeah, my stream should be properly on.
Greetings, everyone. Then
it's saying unstable though, so I'm just giving it a second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as soon as all of yours is cleared up, I'm gonna start my stream as well.
Okie dokie.
My music, like I can't listen to music right now, which is fucking awful. Like I can't hear it. So it's just gonna be a void of silence, just like my players usually get.
Oh dear. Okay. Do we put on our own music?
Hey, put on you. You were gonna do that regardless. I don't know where I should have put it on. I should probably check that.
That's okay.
It didn't matter in the end.
I'll just put my new. Well, it's not my new. I'm still going to be using my old stuff, but I've got new scenes and everything for this.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm just gonna go live or not.
Go.
Yeah. No. What?
What?
It said an error occurred. I think I'm streaming. But that was kind of weird. I believe I am streaming. Yeah, it looks fine. I don't know what that encoder was about. Hello, fine people. Welcome to the wonderful world of D&D. A thing no one has ever heard about. Just kind of a niche thing. I believe, like it seems like I'm streaming. I'm just gonna trust this shit. And I am joined here by the wonderful Drew Wynn and the wonderful Mario.
Hello.
Hello. And we are about to embark on the first portion of this Crusaders campaign in a world I have designed on my own. So, you know, it is very fleshed out and everything is set in stone and every character has a backstory. You know how it is.
Real Tolkien stuff, yeah?
Yeah, that's how I function. Very good, yes. But yeah, are you guys ready?
Say, I'm not this good at multi-streaming.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I am ready. So the only stream chat will be Twitch. So I apologize.
I am just gonna
but,
give us a little bit of a introduction to the world itself. What the hell was that? Here we go. In a world where halflings are evil and goblins are good, the good and evil races live on different continents. The good on the western continent Taradash, where people are decently moral and kings and queens rule with varied benevolence. And in the east, there is Avaluna, where people tend to not leave the evil part of the alignment square. Decades ago, the good soldiers of Taradash landed on the shores of Avaluna and started their crusades to take the lands from the wicked. Our journey shall embark on the southwest coast, bordering the lands of the gnomes, the most feared race in the world. So this is going to take place 10 years after the start of the campaigns, and we are going to jump straight into it. Oh yeah, I see your little dot floating around on the tabletop. So we are going to start with Drew Wynn. Please introduce your character for the far good people.
Hello, I am Nymilla Elfie Billowfeast. What you would see is a little goblin, quite short, very green, wearing traveller's clothes, looking around her, feeling very nervous right now.
And she is nervous right now because what happens is you are sound asleep in a nervous dream. You are being chased by a vicious Goliath who's about to stomp down on you right into your face. And as you're about to get in your face, you just feel something wet in your face, and you wake up, and it's like something super wet and smelly. And as you touch it, you realize this is a dirty, muddy towel straight in your face, and your hands are now covered in mud.
Okay. Well, if I was asleep, then you would have seen something slightly different. Am I in the woods as well?
No, you are currently inside of a tent.
Right. Okay.
As you're a bit disorganized, but you realize you are in a tent in the encampment where you have been the last couple of weeks. And the one who threw the towel on you is a familiar face. It is your sergeant. It's a hobgoblin that you have come across multiple times, and her name is Dumarash, and she is usually pretty mean to you. And he yells out, "Hey, little one, wake up!"
Oh, sorry, sir. I would instinctively grab my bedclothes and just pull them over my head for a second, and you'd probably hear something of a murmur, a little shaking, and then I'll pull my head back out again. And yes, I'll be very wet and sort of just looking up at her, kind of quite just sort of quite nervously, kind of checking my hands, and then climbing out of bed, going, "What is it? What is it? What do you need?"
You've been snoring for way too long, and now it is time for you to do your grunt work.
Grunt work?
Well, you are a grunt after all. So, get dressed. All
right. And I'll just kind of, I'll pull on clothes. Is she wearing a uniform?
Yeah, she's wearing a little bit of a solid armor, like a plate armor, slightly ordained, but and pretty shiny and stuff. But are you talking about yourself or
No, her. And then
yeah.
What have I got to wear?
Oh, you have the shittiest leather armor available. I assume you have a leather armor, right? Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would. I would just pull on the clothes and kind of give her a really nasty look, just sort of. In fact, I know I have traveller's clothes, so I assume that I've been given something from the from the army.
From the army, yes.
It doesn't quite fit. It's obviously not meant for me. But no. I kind of just pull it on and then pull my cloak over it and make sure the hood is secure.
Yeah, you hear a slight chuckle from Dumarash as you put on the armor, and it's kind of like your neck is being covered in a outfit that's not supposed to cover the neck.
Okay. Yeah.
But she says, "What are you looking at me for?"
Nothing. I kind of look away. It's obvious I have no idea how to act, really. I'm kind of feeling my way as I go along. And I just like, nothing. Kind of just, I check my hands again, and it's obvious that I'm like a lot more nervous than I am kind of like upset or anything.
Yeah.
And I kind of just look around and go, well, where do you want me?
Go down to the harbor. We have a shipment coming in with supplies, and you need to come and you need to go and fetch it and take it to camp.
Sure. What shit?
Sorry?
No, nothing, sir. Nothing. I'm going. I just kind of like.
Better.
I'd scurry out of the tent.
Yeah.
Out of eyesight as soon as possible.
Yeah, and she slaps the back of your head as you leave.
Okay, and as I leave, I kind of like squint up at the sky, and it's kind of like it's evident that it kind of hurts. It hurts a bit, the sort of morning light in my face.
Yeah, the morning light is it's a bit like of an orange tinge, and this part is not usually extremely bright, but at this moment the sun is very very how to say it. It's there's no clouds in the sky at the moment, meaning that the sun is really piercing through. But you go out, and the camp meets your eyes. It is a pretty desolate land. The ground is essentially only gravel and brown black dirt. Far away, you can see something that looks a little bit like ruins of something that was there in times before. Multiple people have been leaving their tents and are currently out and about, going milling about. You hear some people training far away. You hear a pretty heavy grunt from an orc in the distance, like. And that's a pretty common sound. Yeah, the harbor is to the west of here. You've been forced to. You haven't been forced to go there before. You know, some other recruits have been going there. You've been more doing some menial tasks of fetching wood and stuff. But now it's your turn to go to the harbor.
Okay, I would make sure that my cloak is, even though it's unlikely that others are, I've got my cloak pulled over my head to kind of shield me from the sunlight. And I'm constantly kind of nervously just checking my hands. And I'll kind of shift, now I'm out of sight of Duramash, I would kind of shift my clothing a bit and just double check a cord around my neck. And then I would just head west. I'd probably like look around as if I'm looking for someone in particular. Would I see someone in particular, or you know?
You haven't gotten to know many people yet.
Okay.
You think you see the captain as you see a kobold. However, it turns out that it's someone completely different. Like all kobolds kind of look the same, but this was a different shade of red.
Okay.
So it didn't turn out to be her. But I see, like most people that you know are not have not woken up at this point. These are what other people go up.
Okay, all right, then I would just head in the direction that I think the harbour is in, just kind of trying to keep low and sort of mumbling to myself, okay, oh God, what have we got ourselves into, kind of thing.
Yep. And as you're walking around and muttering, I would like you to make a dexterity save with advantage.
Oh, okay. First roll of the campaign.
Yeah.
Let's see. Dexterity as in attributes. I think it's like this.
So just to give everyone a little bit of a heads up.
A saving throw is this, yeah?
Yes. Just to give everyone a little bit of a heads up, we are using Foundry for the very first time. This is literally my first time running a campaign online. So we're gonna be fiddling around, figuring out how the hell this program works quite a bit. And I myself are like, how do I run a campaign without seeing people? So it's a bit of a learning curve here.
Okay, there you go. I got a 10. It's in chat.
You got a 10.
Yeah.
I should be able to see that. Yes. Right. So, you're looking at right quite a bit, which is why you got the advantage. And just by the nick of your hair, you managed to evade the massive feet of a Goliath, who's just about to who just leaves his tent that you're walking past.
No!
Says the Goliath back. Don't scare me like that.
Sorry. And I'll kind of like try and like not be seen by him, kind of like have my hands up, just sort of like sorry, and just try and scurry past without saying anything.
Yeah, and you hear a booming voice in the distance. Watch out where you walk!
Yeah, I will! And I'll just kind of like run off.
You're super loud on my end.
Oh, sorry.
Yes. It's gonna, I don't know if it's loud for everyone else for you, but I'm just gonna lower you a bit. There we go.
Yeah.
Can you say something?
Hello?
Yeah, it sounds fine. Right. So, you scutter down towards the harbor. It's not a long walk. And the sun is ever so slightly going up. And it leaves that now behind like the one cloud in the sky. So, the sun is not as intense as it was before.
Okay.
But it takes like approximately 2-3 minutes to get down to harbor. You can if you were up on a hill, you would have been able to see it from the camp. And at the harbor, you see a boat, and there you see it's a decently big boat, and a very small how should I say it? A very small goblin can be seen unloading things with the help of a bugbear. Bugbear. And they are unloading stuff, a bunch of crates and a bunch of boxes, and how do you call it? Burlap sacks. And they don't seem to have like noticed you yet, as they are engaging in some light conversation. What do you wish to do?
I would probably check my hands again. How long has it been since I woke up?
It has currently been like, let's see, you would go up immediately. Like honestly, it's probably not been more than like 10 minutes at this point.
Okay, I would go up to them and kind of say, I've been sent here. Do you need anything?
And you see the bugbear have a little bit of a smile towards you. Is it your turn now?
I guess so. The Duramash just sent me down here. I have no idea. Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So allow me to introduce you to. Crap, names are absolutely failing me here. Yeah. Allow me to introduce you to Hamash, a common sight here around this harbor. Hello.
Hi. I kind of like try and give him a really awkward smile and a little bit of a wave.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And the goblin comes forward, jumps off the ship. It's like, well, hello there. Oh, I'm so surprised I haven't seen you before. You don't look familiar to me whatsoever.
I haven't been with the group for that long. I'm Elfie.
Hello, Elfie. Might I ask, Elfie, where do you hail from?
You don't need to know that. I mean, it's a long story. It's been like, I am where I am. I just kind of like really awkwardly kind of just stumble over that and go, I'm just here, I guess.
Make a persuasion check. Oh, I guess this would be deception.
Is it? Okay, all right.
Yep.
Yes.
Ah, nice. Oh, well, I guess we all have a right to privacy. So, you're the one who's supposed to fetch the supplies then?
Sure. I'm really kind of like jumpy and looking around. Just, yeah, sure.
I got to say, this is way nicer than when I was with the Deamor people. At least someone nice comes and fetch it instead of like some hulking brute being like, get out.
Where are you from?
Oh, I am from Cassandra myself. I assume that would be where you're from, except for being from everywhere, considering you're in this battalion.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm from Cassandra. Yeah, you got it in one. You're clever. You already knew that.
I already knew I was clever.
Yeah.
So, could you help me unlock unload the final crates, please?
Sure, I can help. And I'll. Is there like a crowbar somewhere, or what is there?
You unload the crates. Like, did I say unlock? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'll just if they point me towards a crate, I'll walk up to it. I'm quite small though, and I'm really not very strong, so I would struggle. if it's any bigger than me, I'd be struggling. I'd kind of try and push it maybe. If it was how big is the thing that I'm trying to move?
Like pretty much all of this stuff is pretty big, which is very awkward for you, and. For whatever reason, it seems like the bugbear doesn't help. But the other goblin is pretty strong for her size. So it seems like so they do a little bit of snickering while watching you, but they're trying to be polite about it.
Okay. I would just do my best to try and push it, because yeah.
And it takes a long while, but eventually all the things are unloaded.
Okay.
And the goblin goes, well, that should be everything. Sorry, what was your name?
Elfie, and I'd kind of like be pulling my my hood now.
Oh, you got a beautiful face.
No, it's okay. I drank a lot last night, and I've got a bit of a hangover, so I'm just trying to. And I'd like I'd make sure he couldn't see anything of me. So how long did it take to pull the crates?
Oh, this took a grand 20 minutes to finish this entire thing.
Okay, all right. So yeah, no, I would look up at him then and be like, yeah, I'm Elfie. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well then, I guess I need to get going. This was the final stop before going back to Taradash. Anyone you want me to give you a message to? A lot of people ask me for that.
You wouldn't happen to know somebody, possibly another goblin by the name of Nina, would you?
Goblin named Nina. I know Nina Makarapa, but I don't think she goes by Nina. So, no, I'm afraid I can't say so, no.
Okay, well then that's fine, because my family's from everywhere too, so I doubt you'd find them in Cassandra. So off you go.
Well, off I go then. Well, good luck getting all this stuff to camp then. Bye-bye.
I'd kind of just wave and be a lot more chipper now that I was out of, sort of alone.
Yep. And she tugs off. The boat leaves, and the bugbear then looks down at you and says, "So, how are you gonna get everything back?"
I could. You could help me, or do you have a cart of some kind?
Oh, I'm not allowed to help. and that's where we're gonna swap over to.
Okay.
To
It's just me.
Mario.
I'm just going to start pushing one of the crates really ineffectually towards the camp.
Yeah. Also, just want to talk chat slightly. Yeah. Hi, everybody. Yeah, I'm good. I'm way better now. Hopefully, I can start streaming properly. From now on, it's still some computer kinks left, but we are jumping over to Mario. Mario, are you with us?
Yes.
So, this is gonna be just a little bit after. The sun is up, but you're also in a tent, and you feel a nice little tug on your shoulder that wakes you up. And yep.
I kind of roll over a little bit, like swat at it, and then sit up.
And you hear, Randlovan, wake up.
He sits up. The little bit of sunlight that's peeking through the tent illuminates the eye patch on his left eye, and he says, he kind of adjusts it and says, "What?"
You've been summoned, and what you see in front of you, same goblin before the rush, who is continues. You've been summoned by Tackley. You're supposed to meet up in about half an hour. And Tackley is the kobold captain. So make sure to get dressed, eat for your breakfast, whatever you do, and make sure to be there on time.
Okay, so point of inquiry, because I am a soldier. I have the soldier background, which means that I have rank. Is this person of equal? Is this hobgoblin of equal rank, or is this person below me?
Okay. So you would be of equal rank then. You would be considered a sergeant.
Okay.
Yep.
Very well. I will be there.
All right. Well, see you later. So you have about half an hour before your meeting. What do you do?
I would get up and put on the leather armor that I have. It's not too fancy, but there are some like filigrees just along where the coat meets.
Yep.
And then the rapier would go on my hip, and I would exit the tent, slick my hair back, and just kind of squint a little bit with the exposed eye in the sunlight. It's unpleasant, but it's bearable. And I would head off to wherever the mess tent is, grab whatever gruel they're serving, and head off to my meeting.
Yep. So they are currently serving gruel. It's not a far walk from where your tent is. And there's multiple people that you know from before over here. There's this pretty big Goliath who says, "Good morning, Randlovan," as you walk past.
I give a curt nod.
Yep. And you see a couple of the people under your command giving you a very small salute. And the grub is as unimpressive as always. And the sun is abnormally bright today, so that's a bit of a bother for you. But eventually you find yourself ready to go to the mess to meet up with your captain.
Yep. So along the way, after I finish whatever's in my bowl, I hand it to some grunt and say, "Take care of that," and head off to meet.
Yep. So the one you give it off to is a little goblin called Saka, and when you turn around, you see that Saka is like licking the plate after you to just get whatever extra grub is available.
I shake my head and roll my eyes, and I keep walking. They're not worth it.
But you go to the tent, and as is customary, you say, Sergeant Tranlovan, ready for duty, reporting more like before going into the tent, and you hear a voice from inside. Enter.
And I do.
Yep. So you enter into the tent. Have you played Skyrim?
Several times.
Yeah. So imagine one of those places where
With the map.
Yeah, like the generals have like a map and stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and it's essentially like that. It's kind of Spartan, but there are some minor regalia and like a desk separate and stuff. And before you stands Takli, a kobold who is sitting in front of the table, and she's kind of short for being a kobold, and you know that she's pretty newly appointed as the previous captain died. And you haven't really had much to do with her before, as you've been like doing different stuff. But she says with like kind of like a very calmly, "You may sit, Ranlavan."
And I will exit parade rest, and I will sit.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't think we're going to.
Is there like a cup of or a pot of tea or a cup of coffee or wine or something?
Oh no,
Maybe
nothing
in
like
the
that. They're not wasting that on you.
Ugh.
Welcome. How's your eye?
It's fine. Always keep this one in the dark. Better that way. Prepared, you know.
So, let me ask you a little bit of a question. That little goblin that you brought along, what was her name? Nim something? How has she seemed to settle in? Like Effie, was that her name?
Oh, yeah. She's doing her part.
I've been wondering if we should assign her to you under your command, perhaps. That seems a bit more appropriate.
Always looking for another to take charge of. He says, like not like clearly lying, like doing what I'm told by my superior, but not happy about it.
Yeah, make a little bit of a deception check for that. Yep, that's exactly what you needed. Like, well, that's perfect. So, I have summoned you for a little bit of a mission. I have a message I need to relay over to the Cassandra Gorgola camp, and I was thinking you could perhaps go there together with this new recruit, this Elfie. And I was hoping that you could catch the boat that they're currently using to unload. So, would this mission be to your liking?
A messenger boy? Sure.
So yeah, you have now received a mission as a messenger boy, and what you know is also like you have a bit of a connection to the Cassandra Gorgola as you are multi-religious,
Yes.
which would be why this specific mission would be entrusted to you. Well then, you better get a move on then if you want to catch the boat.
Of course. Am I? Does the kobold hand me like a sealed letter or something to take?
It's a sealed letter that she hands you, and it's pretty light, so there doesn't seem to be any trinket or anything like that inside. And it is. It doesn't really have anything on it, which is customary, just so if a message is intercepted, no one knows where it's going. Do give the captain the warmest of regards.
Always.
Yeah. So, do you scanter off to the harbor?
Yes. I will head off towards the harbor. If it's a slight detour to head back towards where the mess place is, I will make a pit stop there first.
It's not really that much of a detour. What are you going to do during a pit stop?
So whoever that goblin was, I'm going to tell them to give them an extra bowl, because they have done me a favor, and then I will head to the.
Yep. Yeah, and they're going to grant you this favor, so you don't need to roll for that. You haven't really done this too much before, so they can just give you a little bit of a pass for that.
All right. And then off to the harbor, off to the docks.
Yep, off to the docks you go. So, it does. Once again, it doesn't take very long. It takes shorter time than it did for Lynn. But as you manage to see the harbor, you see that the boat is about to disappear onto the horizon.
I'm just pushing these boxes up the hill.
Yeah, so you see Effie try to get this one box off up the hill while there's like 50 different additional crates downhill as well.
I'm still working on the one. It's barely moved.
Yeah, this has moved approximately 10 meters, and you've been at this for a minute. But yeah.
Wait, the boat that I'm supposed to catch to get to the other camp is leaving?
Yep. Oh, yeah. That is the camp.
Oh, okay. I will go and I will lean on the box for about half a second. I will look down at Effie and say, "New orders. Follow me." And I take off at a sprint.
There would be like a little bit of relief as I saw Ranlevin, and then I would just chase after him without saying anything.
Yeah. And you hear the bug basically like, wait, who's gonna deal with the boxes?
Not my problem.
He's the sergeant. I'm going with him. And I just sort of, yeah. Sorry, I mean, I got one of them a little way.
So, you guys are now on the footpath towards the Gorgola division, and this will probably be about a day's trip. You should hopefully arrive in the evening.
Is there a cabin?
What do you mean?
Like, is there like an underground to the ship, like or is it all just open air?
I'm sorry. I'm a bit confused what the question is.
So, I
thought we were supposed to be taking in the ship.
Yeah.
To get to the camp.
Are we in the ship?
No, the ship is gone.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So we're just standing at the dockside. Okay.
Yep. Or I figure you guys were running off along the shore.
Oh, okay.
I was running, hoping maybe I could catch it. All right. I'll get to the docks and I'll look at it, and I'll look back at Effie.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna have to do something about your short legs.
We're gonna have to do something about my not green skin, I said, and I would assume it's been about an hour since I woke up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so my skin would have turned from green back to kind of like very pale white.
Yep.
And I would kind of like pull the hood around me a bit more and kind of look around, then look up at Radnlevin. I didn't know I was coming to be an errand boy for your bloody Duramash.
So, you Radlovan, this is like very common practice that one of the newest ones should be dealing with the crates, and the usual thing is they just do it a little bit, and then when they get there, they are gonna learn that they will get a little bit more help than just dealing with all of it by themselves. It's a little bit of a joke on the new people.
You just need to learn how to delegate.
Delegate? Who am I supposed to delegate to?
Well, the people under you, of course.
There are people under me?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. God, I'm not a soldier, Radlevin. I've never done this before, you know that.
I pat Effie on the head. Well, you are now. Let's go.
Okay.
We missed our boat.
What are we going to do then?
We are going to take, and I adjust my armor. We're going to take this note to the camp upriver, or up the coast.
Yep.
Okay.
Where that boat's going that we were supposed to be on, but we missed because you're short.
Just the two of us?
For now.
I'd just like sigh in relief and go, well, that sounds great. Let's go.
I've got a new commander, and she doesn't really trust you yet, so we're delivering notes.
Okay. I'd kind of sigh and kind of look at my fingers and kind of look around a bit more paranoid and say, well, I mean, it's probably understandable she doesn't trust me, right? And then I'd kind of just look really downcast and a bit sad.
Yep.
That's all right. You'll learn it.
If you say so.
So something you know is that the path you guys are about to embark on, most of the path is not going. Won't expect to even see a single soul. You will passing the Daemor camp a little bit later, but it's like halfway. But until then, you don't really expect for anyone to be around. It's not like anyone's protecting the shoreline.
Okay. Well, Elfie...
There's not much to see between here and there. We'll be all right.
Sounds perfect, not having to watch my back and make sure they don't know they've got some evil gnome in their presence.
So to remind people in the audience who have maybe or who just joined in, we're doing a reverse alignment campaign, which means that stuff like orcs are considered good and things like gnomes are considered evil. So that's a little bit of a pickle that the players have found themselves in, and I am going to change the picture on my screen. All right. So, do you go up the coast, or what did the two of you do?
Yeah. Start heading towards where we're going to deliver this missive.
Mm-hmm.
Are we still on the front lines of the war? So are we still in kind of like gnome land, or?
So, this is when it comes to like the front lines of the war. This is kind of like been the part where the front line hasn't moved too much. It's been stale for years because gnomes are very, very good at holding the line.
Okay.
So there will be further up. There's going to be a lot more inland, and there's going to be a bit more inland when you reach the camp you're going to as well.
Okay. Well, when it's just me and Ranlevin, I'll look quite happy and relaxed. And yeah, sometimes, although the sky is still causing me issues when it's bright, I'd have my hood down and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have you, and I'll kind of motion towards the eye patch. Have you considered one of these?
I'd need 2 of them. It's so bright up here. I don't know how you guys could stand it.
Training. Practiced in the art of fighting without sight.
Well, maybe, yeah, I need to practice in the art of fighting with sight. We don't really go for sunshine down in the caves. But
I miss home too, but that's a lifetime ago.
Yeah. I just kind of trail off, kind of wistfully looking at the, looking kind of towards the front line, kind of back towards the sort of gnome area, and then, what can you tell me about this camp? I mean, obviously I'm going to have to hide again. They're not going to trust me if they know what I am.
Are you asking me or?
Well, I'm asking Ranlavan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I haven't been there yet, so not much.
Okay.
I can tell you that they've got somebody that's looking for this.
Fair enough. As we walk, I'll be scanning the kind of like the path and kind of the areas, looking for obvious signs of traps as well as we're going.
Yep. You're going to be scanning for traps the entire time, all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you'll be walking up the coast, and there's a lot of marks of previous battles along this coast. A lot of unmarked graves and some marked graves. Can you do me a history check, Mario? Cool.
A 14.
Nice. So, 20 years ago, I said 10 before, but now it's 20. 20 years ago, the landing on the south coast beach, which is where you guys are residing, but this is also known as like Higlabink in the halfling culture, was a supply landing that claimed the lands of Higler Kingdom. And it sent so many refugees from the once proud kingdom to the east. And the different platoons will then start pushing north. But what happened was when people were trying to push into these lands up south, the gnomes essentially did Vietnam tactics, and they have been able to hide. And this place has became like a desolate, muddy, open field, and no one is even fighting for like this portion anymore, as this created a bit of a stalemate. While up north, there's been a lot more advancements that have been made, and down here, there hasn't been many armies that have been even remotely willing to take on this flank, which is why the more zealous religions, the Lord and the Deimos have been residing on this coast. Drew, can you make me a religion check, please?
I can. Just a normal one. Ooh,
yep.
There you go.
Whoa. Yeah, so you are well aware of the additional reason to why the advancement has been halted to such a degree. You know that a druid, following the evil god Hagran, has been creating a massive fort wall that is aggressive towards the Crusaders.
Sorry,
that can easily be passed by the gnomes and the halflings.
Sorry, you cut out slightly there. What did he form?
Okay.
He formed
a wall of thorns.
Okay, right.
So essentially, if the Crusaders wants to push further in, they have to fight off. And this has made it so that it's been a lot harder for your platoons to be able to push in than it's been for the others. send saboteur into your lands.
Okay. All right.
So it's not unreasonable at times to come across enemy combatants in this general area.
Meaning the gnomes.
Mostly gnomes, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm. You guys want to discuss anything else before we proceed?
No, I'd be keeping that to myself and kind of just checking for traps as we go, and maybe keeping an eye out for what I would know as obvious signs of gnomes. You know, gnomes being around, because I would know that quite well.
Yeah.
So.
Just want to respond to my chat slightly. Thank you, Darius. I've been doing a lot better and better all the time, and yeah, I'm back. And hopefully, as long as my computer doesn't break, which is a slight risk of, I'm gonna start streaming more regularly again. But yeah, I'm gonna be DMing, so can't respond to every message for obvious reason. All right.
I would be keeping an eye out for scouts from the other camp or another group.
Yep. Absolutely. So, you continue your travels. You stumble upon some old boats from the original landing. There's broken, rotted spears ever here. Very, very old armor that is far beyond saving is lying on the beach before you. And
I would kind of scan it to see if there is anything that's just, you know, anything that's the best of something that I might be able to make into something, or just materials that I could use for various things.
Yeah, please roll for investigation.
Okay.
I'd like to help with that because I would also be looking. Scavenging supplies is always important.
Investigation with advantage. Yeah, that's a good check. So, you were looking for stuff for like trap making and things like that.
Yeah, or just things that useful bits for traps or for upgrading things, or just things I could tinker with.
Yeah. So you found some material, like partway of material to make some kind of traps. Like there are. While there's not much to help, you find some metal bits, I should say, like parts of old armor that is at least not beyond saving. While most of it is just trash, some of it has actually been maintained decently. So you can write on your character sheet trap material. But
I can also give myself leather armor, can't I? Because I don't have that in my thing at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. You've received that.
Okay, so kind of trap materials and anything that kind of looks like I'll just have taken it and sort of have it on me. I wouldn't. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But aside from that, there's not just that much to salvage as what. Things have generally been salvaged there before. Just no one bothered with what you found.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys want to carry on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You proceed, and as you move north, you're gonna start hearing some sounds. Please make perception check, both of you. 21. And 20.
Nat 20.
Oh, snap. Nice. And I also got something good happens redeemed in my chat.
Good.
So as you carry on, is going to hear some screams, and you've been close to this camp before. This is the demo camp that is about 200-300 meters away from you. I guess we're doing feet here, but I don't know how that works. But 200-300 meters away from you, and it's above a hill, so no one necessarily sees you at the moment. But the screams that you're hearing are screams of absolute agony, and both of you with your pasts will know that this is torture, and
Goes well.
and you can you can even hear them shrieking, "No! Stop! Stop!"
Okay. So
I was never much into playing with my food.
is that where we're supposed to be going?
That is not where you're supposed to be going. You're moving past this. You don't have to interact with this if you do not wish so.
Can we see what's going on? Is it just like a camp with screaming?
You may go a little bit above the hill. You may have to interact with these people if you do, but unless you want to stealth to see what's happening.
I would look to Renlevin and say, "What should we go and check it out?"
That they're trying to get something out of that person. They might think that you were party to whatever's going on if you did that.
But I mean, I can't. What I would do is I would kind of sneak a little bit forward, just trying to like see what it was.
Yep. So you sneak a bit forward, and you don't have to roll for this,
Okay.
because they are very intrigued. So what you see are a bunch of hobgoblins around, essentially like an inside of a camp that is, it's how to say it? It's a bunch of like idols there. There's swords on top of huts. It looks a little bit kind of like tribal. And on the altar, you see two familiar faces. These are two gnomes that you remember being kind of new recruits in the army from back home. And they were very eager and happy-go-lucky for their kind, very into torturing squirrels. But right now they are in absolute pain as they've been poked by spears. You hear a little bit of a sound of a crackling of a rib.
Shit. Oh god, I know those guys. I'd go completely pale and be shaking and kind of like it's obvious that I'm not used to seeing this kind of level of violence. Oh god, they're just little kids. They can't do that to them. And I'd kind of like look like I'm ramping up to try and help, but I'm kind of like wringing my hands and I don't know what to do, sort of thing.
And I just grab her hands and I say, no.
We have to. I know those guys.
And you'll be with them if they find you.
I'd kind of just like stare at Randolph, and then I'd put my hand in my pocket and I'd like rip something, and then I'd like grab at the cord around my neck, and I'd just start a few breaths, and it would take quite a while for me to kind of like calm down, and I'd just look at Randolph and I'd look away from them and let Randolph kind of just lead me away.
So the two of you leave to the echoing sound of this torture in the background, and eventually this, instead of two gnomes, there's only one that is currently screaming and sobbing, screaming out the name of Hogge! Hogge! And that's the name of one of them.
God. I know those kids. I kind of... Can we not do anything? Can you not go and just go and collect them? Tell them you're high up in the army. Can't you just tell them they're needed?
High up, I'm up one step, and those people are vicious. They will not listen to me.
I could make myself into one of them, like I make myself into a goblin and try. Or, I mean, what do they even expect to get out of them? They don't know anything. Are they trying? Like,
they don't know that, and the Draymore are just bloodthirsty. They revel in pain.
Yeah, and as you say there, you start, you hear no, and
I close my eyes and look very, very shaken. But I'd kind of be crying now. But I wouldn't make a move to go towards them. I guess this is just the way it is, I guess. And I'd kind of...
War isn't pretty.
No, I guess when you're just making the traps and sending them out, you don't really see that side of it. And
Have you ever seen what your people have done?
I saw what we did to you pretty good.
Okay.
Kind of snap.
Yeah.
Just
bit.
checking.
So yeah, this what the scene that you guys just saw would essentially be an everyday thing over at the home of the gnomes. It was kind of like a daily activity that happened on the square.
Yeah. Let's just go, I guess.
And you scanter off. I just want to say also, I've been having these redeems that I've been given from Doris. And if anyone want to impact a little bit what's happening, that can be done on my channel with channel points. And the first good thing that happened was that you didn't have to roll for stealth, Drew. And the bad thing that happened was that the other gnome died a brutal death. So that's how you viewers can impact what's going on. But yeah, you leave the proximity of the Daimel camp, and any sort of sounds of revelry is no longer there, as you have marked the halfway point, and to both of your relieves, the clouds, the sky started to become quite cloudy, and so it's no longer hurting your eyes to just be out and open.
I'd kind of be quite relieved at that point, and yeah, I wouldn't have my cloak on, and I'd just kind of be walking in silence, just like really lost in thought.
Let's go for Ranlavan.
Ranlavan is paying very close attention for which direction those people had come from and gone to find those gnomes, and making sure that we're not on that path.
Yeah. So you don't see any signs of any big footsteps, anything like the hobgoblins would have. Make a survival check. Oh, damn.
Not bad.
Yeah, you guys are just barely making the DCs a lot of times. You do, however, see some smaller signs. A little bit unclear exactly what it is, but something smaller. Maybe a goblin, maybe like a dog or something has been on this beach not too long ago. So it's possible that these tortured gnomes were on this beach before.
I'll point out the tracks and say, is this a pattern you would recognize?
Is it a pattern that I would recognise?
Pattern you would recognize?
Like the footsteps and...
Yeah.
Would I know why they were on the beach?
Make an intelligence check. Actually, no, wait. It would be a wisdom check. Yeah. There's a straight wisdom. Holy shit. You guys are rolling good today. Yeah, this is very... It's very reasonable that this could be some of your people. They seem to be walking in. It seems to be walking in pair. They seem to be making stops at times that is kind of common for your people. And whatever they have on their feet is definitely. Could definitely make those sort of marks that you see.
Yeah, these are goblins. Would they have been laying traps or anything, or would I know?
No, it's very unclear what you guys are watching. Some like the water have come up and kind of ruined a bit of like the quality of the tracks, so it's a little bit of a guessing game for you guys right now.
Well, it's definitely goblins. Not goblins, definitely gnomes, but I don't know. I don't know what they were doing here, or I wasn't really on the front line or anything.
Then let's give a wide berth, because my experience, gnome tracks lead to gnome traps.
I'd just be lost in thought, kind of still, kind of quite shaken about what I'd seen, and I'd kind of give Brandon a kind of like just an eye and go back to thinking.
Yeah.
You know, they probably snatched those boys from the beach. I thought you guys were supposed to be the good guys.
We are. The Daymore kind of do their own thing.
Didn't look very different to what they do in back home to me. Would they do that to every gnome they saw?
Yes. Gnome, any halfling, any human, they are relentless.
And I'd try and like sound quite light and disinterested, like, well, what the rest of you do if you just found a gnome out in the wild? I mean, one that didn't save your life.
There would probably be some assumptions. We would probably give it a wide berth. You people tend to be dangerous.
Okay.
And I give her like side eye, like.
I wouldn't say any more. I'd just kind of follow his lead.
And as the two of you are talking, you see something that I forgot your character's name. It's not visible clearly on my screen. It's really annoying. Elfie.
Elfie.
Yeah, Elfie. You spot something very familiar to you. You see in front of you, in between two logs, which would be like the most obvious place to walk on this path, this little footpath. You see a trap.
Hold up.
It's.
Sorry, just saying that. Yeah.
Hmm?
No, I've just said that to him.
Mhm.
So there's a trap. Give me a second. I'd scurry
Sure.
closer to it and take a closer look.
So yeah, this is a sort of like trip line trap. Which what it would do is it would send a bunch of like spikes hurling towards whoever activates it, and this can really fuck one up.
Oh yeah, this is one of Fernie's. I muttered to myself. Would I?
Who's Fernie?
He just really liked his spikes. Okay, just don't activate that tripwire if you don't want to be a kebab.
I like look down and look around where she's put. What tripwire? I don't.
Just back up. I kind of like.
I will back up and I will like flick my wrist at the place where she's pointing, and a few little red bubbles of light start illuminating in the area, and I'll cast dancing lights to try and make it easier to see. But they're like the dark red. You can barely see it lights.
Yep. That's gonna make it slightly easier. So
Right, I better disarm this thing, and I'll. What I would do is I would kind of shut my eyes and just kind of touch my breastplate where there's like the necklace is sitting, and I'd kind of take a breath. And what I'm actually doing is casting guidance on myself. But for what I'm doing, I'm just kind of like kind of centering myself. Okay, let me see if I can disarm this, and I'll kind of like start looking at the kind of mechanism and trying to unhook it.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, have you set up so you have a disarm proficiency somewhere on your sheet, or like this in real life?
Don't think so. No.
Yeah. So that should be pretty much. It should be a speed dex plus your proficiency.
Okay. Right. Yeah, I don't think there's a. It's not in features. It might be in spellbook.
Yeah, you can just add that in for your sheet. It should be pretty simple.
Okay, so dexterity plus. Wait a minute. We'll just do this sort of longhand. Dexterity 9 plus proficiency is 2, which is 11, and then I get to roll guidance, which I think is roll d4, I believe.
Yep.
So 13.
Yep. And
I've rolled really bad.
So you bring forth your tools. You look at the trap that Fernie has is more like the one who designed it, not necessarily the one who made the trap. And you are well versed in Fernie's designs, so you manage to, by going for the base of where the wiring is instead of the center, manage to do a little bit of an incision, and the line goes slack without triggering the trap. So you have successfully undone this Fernie's trap and are allowed to proceed.
Okay, I would probably take a look at the trap and see if there's anything I can dismantle, just because it's kind of what I do, and take with us, because I'd like to collect little things. Since you cut at the base, the entire line is still fine. It would take a little bit to collect the part of the spike trap, but you'll essentially have a furnace spike trap in your inventory. Okay. I will take it. I will take it. Okay, I will add that in, and then I'll once I've kind of, I'd pick it up, I'd stick it into my backpack, and then I'd kind of just stand up and nod to Ranlavin and say, yeah, okay, we can go now. It's my trap now.
You are so odd. You collect everything.
Well, you never know what's going to be useful.
I couldn't agree more. I just wouldn't have thought to touch it after what you did to it.
I mean, my entire life is these traps. I know them inside out. They're not that scary if you know what you're looking for. And plus now we can use it if we need it.
Too true. Onward then?
Yeah, let's go.
And like just still like eyebrow raised at the bag that is carrying the death of my last platoon.
Fernie's trap are kind of how should I say this?
Super effective.
Yeah, super effective. This one is one of the simpler ones, because it doesn't need more. Usually, Fernie's traps needs more things to hide them, and since you're on an open beach, they couldn't really set up anything up too intricate. But when Fernie's traps go big, they go bad. This one would merely be like, hey, let's get you a D4 damage.
What gets Fernie the big desk?
Yeah, Fernie is a big shot. Don't mess with Fernie. But the two of you proceeds, and as you continue like looking at the tracks, Ranlavan, you are noticing becoming a bit clearer and clearer, and eventually you notice that it's going towards the same direction that you are. And there's also some sort of like tiny track you can't really identify. And this does, and you couldn't see that before, but it's not 2, it's 3 tracks.
Ooh, hold on. Wait a second.
Hmm?
Your people don't usually walk in file. There's an extra set here.
I just want to say they walk single file to hide their numbers. No, yeah, no, we don't usually. There's usually only 2 people out at once. So what's the other track?
Is it the same size or is it
Effie would know that these are like with the whole thing with the shoes before. These shoes are not of the same kind.
That's no gnomes.
It's more like the shoes that you're currently wearing.
I mean, they look more like your kind than my kind.
Huh. So where they're headed towards, this is all just still open beach, right? Like there's not cover anywhere?
So right now there's open beach, but you're about to get into where it's a bit more of forestry.
Definitely keep an eye out, because if this is where they did the grabbing, up there is where it happened.
I'd nod and just like pull my hood back over my face and kind of make sure that none of my skin is shown.
Yeah. Right. So two of you keep moving, and you get to a rare foresty part on this path. This is the first part of the track that is more where it hasn't been like shoveled to dust, because you're approaching the end of the halfly of like the no part of the front.
Coastline?
Yeah, coastline. So there hasn't been a great need to shovel some trees down here. So there's about to be a lot more forest going forward. But as you start nearing the forest, you hear a voice. Please roll for perception. That's a persuasion.
Oh God.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
No,
You hear.
I'm convincing the trees.
We can see everything.
You start to hear loud, humanoid-made noises, but you can't discern what it is, and it becomes a lot more quiet pretty quickly. And it's right in front of you, not too far forward.
I'll tell Effie to stick close and kind of like push her behind me, and I'll throw the dancing lights down the path.
I would do so.
Yep. So are you guys just walking forward? Is that what you do? The classic, are you stealthing?
I'd be stealthy. I'd be kind of like, yeah.
And I'm walking with purpose now that I have the lights out.
Yep. So Effie, you may.
What I would probably do is, what I would be doing is I'd be staying behind Randovan, but I'd have one hand on his like wrist, and I'd be, because he's kind of like taking the lead, I'd be like willing, like supporting to him, and not knowingly I'd cast guidance on him.
All right.
Just like, but I'd be holding his sleeve and just kind of like, what's going on? Like, what are we doing? Kind of thing. Yeah. So, but I'd be following him if he was moving anywhere.
Yeah, and I'm
Keeping
like
an eye out.
keeping watch around for things that are going, but just continuing down the path, like exuding confidence and like that drow bravado of you can try it, but you're not gonna win.
Yep.
And he'd be feeling even more like that, you know. I've instilled a sense of confidence into him, I guess.
Nice. But the two of you move forward, and we can. Let's see. Here's the first. Like, let's see how we can help the founder here, because I'm gonna send you over to another map. Here, configure.
Fancy.
Can you guys see a new tab? I can probably get you guys here now I think about it, or can I?
I can't see a new
I
tab
think
yet.
as DM you should have to drag us to a new map.
Okay. Can I do that?
There was one
yeah,
when I logged in, so.
Yeah, and then I changed the show in navigation maybe.
Oh, there we go.
You see it now?
Yeah.
There we go.
And yep.
Could you refresh it? Are you able to refresh it?
What do you mean?
Because we'll get Mario's.
Oh. I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
It should be if you delete my token and then redeploy it, it should have the updated image.
Yeah. So, what? Actually, you both of you, please roll for perception. Well,
I am right behind him. Like, I cannot see. I'm like hiding.
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Actually, that is the next skill check, so that should have the guidance on it as well.
right.
So 13.
Yep.
I got a natural 1. I'm seeing nothing but like the back of Randovin's cloak.
So what you see is a mangled corpse of a pretty small goblin in battlement in like armor that is clearly from the Gorgola core that you are going for, like that division. And you also see a pretty, like, it's a pretty cute murderous little dog that is that sees the two of you approach, and it starts to bark.
Would I know what kind of dog it is? Would it be like a gnomish dog, or is it just
it's a very common breed within like the south coast, not necessarily amongst gnomes.
Okay.
But yeah, the one is starting to move slightly more towards you and bark like crazy.
I will stop and I will, seeing the corpse, I want to make sure that it's actually dead, and I'm going to use, how do I send this? Is it like, Divine Sense to make sure that dead thing is actually dead.
Yep. You're using Divine Sense, and yes. What does Divine Sense do exactly now again? Is that on? There we go.
Yes, on the there's a description on the chat thing.
Okay. Yeah, that thing is, according from what you can tell, yes, very, very dead.
Okay. Okay. I think it's actually dead. It's not. We're not in too big a trouble. But I will kind of step in front and push Effie behind me as the dog approaches.
Yep. And as you do that, the dog starts combat, and we need to figure out how to start combat. I see end combat. Toggle combat state.
I think you have to add us into the combat. I know that much.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. So can you? Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Right. And
Did I seriously roll a 2?
Oh God.
Ugh.
all right. So you are now standing on this crossroads, and in front of you you have a tiny little dog that has been. You can see now when it's closer that it is very red around it. Mouth of this is clearly been starting to devour this goblin. Elfie, what do you want to do?
And it's obviously about to attack us.
Yeah.
Okay. I would. I'd get very scared. I would walk to. Hang on. No, it doesn't tell me how far away I can do this. 60 feet. Okay, I can do it. I would kind of go to here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'd shut my eyes, put my hands out in front of me, and cast Sacred Flame.
Mm-hmm. Does he need to make a save then?
Yeah, he needs to make a. I think if you just click that in the chat, the saving throw, 13 dexterity.
Okay. Saving throw. How do I sign that this dog is supposed to do that?
It should be if you select the token of the dog, and then you can pick the saving throw.
Click saving throw, and I've hit an 8 on that 1d8. So.
For the damage, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure this one out. I could just fetch some dice to do this instead. Let's see here, saving throw.
If you select the token and then in the Sacred Flame thing, you'll see there's a damage and a saving throw. If you literally just click where it says saving throw, you'll make a roll, and if you've got that dog selected, it will roll for the dog.
Okay, let's try that. That looks about right. Just let me double check its stats. Yeah, that's not a plus, so that hits.
Okay. I do 8 damage.
8 damage? Yeah.
Actually, let me just double check. Yeah, no, it is 8 damage. I was just double checking because before it was always rolling max, but it's not. So yeah, that was just okay. So it's 8 damage.
Oh, that's feet. There we go. So it goes down to -4 HP. You have definitely murdered this dog viciously.
Okay.
How do you want to do this?
Well, I've just... It's kind of obvious that I'm just kind of very nervous. I'm like barely even looking. I'm just kind of like, my hands are out in front of me, and I just sort of... I kind of take one look at Ranvin, and it's almost like a reactionary thing to the scary situation. The fire just like flies out of my hands, and I barely know it's happened. And then as it kind of like, it hits the dog, and the dog kind of like just with a whimper just kind of like falls onto the floor, and kind of like it's this little burning thing. And I kind of like look at my hands kind of shocked, and I'll look up at Ranvin and then sort of kind of like look around and make sure nobody else is watching.
You hear this massive howl of a death scream from the dog as it burns to cinder.
I didn't mean to.
And like as the dog falls down, like I've got my hand, like the rapier is starting to come out of its sheath, and I just slowly turn to her, and it clicks back where it goes. Well then.
As the two of you are talking, you were looking around, and let's see here.
Yeah, I just kind of like I wouldn't know what to say. I'd just kind of look between Ranvin and the dog and my hands, and just kind of like I'd look a little like I'm a little bit scared of my hands, and I'd just kind of.
See here. Okay. So Effie, does a 13 hit you?
Oh gosh. Yes.
So as you look around, you see a creature type of creature you're very well accustomed to. In front of you see a halfling. And it's a halfling that is from the eastern lands that you are well aware are a bit more vicious than even your people. And you can see that this halfling who's now pierced you with a crossbow bolt has blood all around its mouth and spits out a piece of goblin flesh. And let's see, how do I roll for damage?
You can do a public roll if you want us to see them, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that.
So how do I roll for damage?
You should be able to click damage in.
Oh, there it is. Okay. Bam. As you take 5 points of damage.
Okay. Oh, we don't have the thing. Right, yeah, that kind of knocks me back on my feet. And then, yeah, I'll just kind of, oh, okay. And I'd pull down my cloak hood and go, what did you do that for? Your bloody dog tried to kill me! In whatever I would think would the common thing be, just to try it.
You killed my dog!
It was bloody gonna kill me!
But you realize this wasn't the halfling in front of you who screamed that. As we another one shall appear, and let's see here, and it's going to attack Ranvin. 20 hit you.
It does. Yes.
Yeah. as you take 3 points of damage as a crossbow bolt from this no longer invisible blood-curdled halfling in the shoulder. And yeah, we will. Can I change whose turn it is? Like the initiative thing, I'm a bit confused by how this works. Is it like end combat or what do I do?
If we're ending combat, yeah, you need to end it and restart a new one if that's what we're doing.
No, I'm trying to make it so that it's no longer the bandit's turn, so you can see it's Random's turn, or...
Oh, just drag him in and then roll for initiative, and then he won't have another turn.
Like, yeah, I'm talking disability.
Then you should be able to hit next, or something.
Oh, there it is. Bam. There we go. Then it is Randoman.
I will step on the corpse of the dog and then move up here along the road.
Yes.
And I pull out my rapier and I stick him with the pointy end.
Yeah. Roll for attack.
Thank you, Levy. I've changed it. I couldn't see an obvious
That's
one.
hits.
Yeah, I'd say, yeah.
10 points of piercing damage.
Yeah. That's pretty decent. So, after this halfling yells out, "My dog!" You just rushes straight forward, takes up your rapier, and pierces right through the chest. And this halfling looks at Chester. Looks
You
up
should
at
have
you
controlled him. I'll say in Undercommon.
Yeah, and you and she spits at you, goblin flesh right into your face. You'll pay for that. And we'll go to the top. Elfie.
All right, I will. I'll stay where I am, but I'll kind of like. Actually, there's a tree there, isn't there? I'd probably
Yeah.
move up to next to the tree this way, away from the dog, and I'd kind of look at Ranlevin and I'd look at the guy who he just stabbed, and I'd sort of look at my hands again, and I'd look kind of angry, and I'd sort of hold them out in front of me again, like with a bit more purpose, but obviously not knowing what I'm doing. And I'd cast Sacred Flame again.
On who?
On the guy that Ranlevin just stabbed.
Okay.
So yeah, he has to do a saving throw.
Yep. Bam. Yeah. He makes it.
He doesn't take any damage then, so I guess it kind of like just fritters off of his jerkin, leather, whatever he's wearing, his armor, and I kind of like look back at my hands again and kind of look at Ranlevin a little bit sort of shamefaced.
Mm-hmm. Right. Then we continue. Oops.
Sorry, I hit into yeah.
No worries. I don't know who. It doesn't matter whose turn it is. So this bandit is going to move over here as it swaps to its weapon, and it is going to go for a little bit of a smack with a scimitar. Bam. Attack. Normal. 9 to hit.
Doesn't hit me.
No. Yep.
So
so it goes in for the attack.
Go on. Yeah, no, you go ahead.
So it goes in for the attack, and it is. Think of like that sort of stab you would do to finish someone up from above. He's trying to do that towards your face, but you just take like a slight step backward to not get hit.
Okay. Yeah.
And the second one is gonna try to do the same thing to the one who super pierced their stomach. So Randlevan, you are gonna get a scimitar against you, and it's gonna be a 13 to hit.
Misses.
Misses. So she is absolutely freaking enraged as a scimitar launches towards you, but you easily sidesteps the attack, and it will now be your turn.
No, you're supposed to do it like this, and I will roll a 15 to try and stab her back.
Nice. I'm gonna assume that it hits. I just need to double check. Yes, that hits.
For another 8 piercing damage.
Yep. So she goes down to -7. How do you want to do that?
I just kind of like like this, and poke down through her, and then pull it out and turn to face the other one, and I will move over here.
Yep.
How fast is this water flowing?
Not very fast.
Over here and flank this one with Effie.
Yep. Roger. That's your turn?
That is my turn.
Then it is Elfie.
Okay. Yeah, I've just like dodged the sword attack, and I'm kind of like panicking a bit, being this close to a, to an opponent, and I just kind of like I screw up my face and I just kind of grab at him, and I cast Shocking Grasp.
Yep.
Just purely on instinct. So, does 24 hit?
Actually, yes, it does. You guys are fucking cracked today.
So you take 4 damage.
4 damage. Yes. Roger. So you grab onto this very sad creature. Who now gets electrocuted on top of that, almost drops the scimitar in the process, and it should be that one's turn now. Let's see here. And it was gonna attack Randovan because super murdered their friend, but now you're holding on to him. So the bandit is gonna go towards you, and it is going to attack, and it is going to roll 6.
Yeah, that doesn't hit.
Damn it! And so she brushes off your hands, still shaky from the electrocution, and slices down into the ground right next to you, and looks up to you with fear in his eyes.
I'll just try to look as menacing as possible, just holding on to his arm, just like, you didn't mean to kill your dog.
And he looks behind him, now seeing Randovan.
Who then, as he turns around, puts the rapier into him, or at least attempts to. Is flanking? Are we doing flanking as advantage?
No.
Okay. Then I only roll a 9.
That unfortunately misses. As it looks towards you, fear in her eyes, but managed to slightly roll away as you're trying to pierce him to death like the other halfling before him. You want to do anything else?
I don't have any bonus actions yet, so we're good.
Yep.
I'm just still gripping him, and I've just noticed that. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say he did get away from you, but you can regrip him. No worries.
Okay, yeah. I'm like, I noticed that worked before, so I kind of like I grip him with more purpose. Of like before it was just sort of panic. Now I kind of grip him with more purpose, and try and shocking grasp him again.
Yeah.
Does 22 hit?
God damn it, guys! What the?
I rolled a
yes.
17. Okay.
Yeah. Yes, it does.
So yeah, 8 damage.
Yes.
Damage.
How you wanna do that?
I'm just holding him, and I'm not even really seeing him. I'm just concentrating on whatever this thing is that my hands are doing, and he's just sort of like convulsing and smoking, and I'm just like, I start to get a bit like shocked at what's happening, and I let go of him, and he just falls to the floor, and my hands are just like up, like someone's holding a gun at me, and I'm just like, my hands are shaking, and I kind of stare down at him, and I kind of look up at Ranlavin like, I don't know what just happened.
Yeah, and we are going to end combat.
What was that?
That was a fight, and you did pretty good, kid.
Did I kill him?
You see the convulsions of the death convulsions of the creature right in front of you.
I kind of push it with my foot. Yes, you did.
Okay. Well, I mean, those halflings are pretty bloodthirsty anyway. They would have done worse to us. And I'd kind of like wipe my hands like on my cloak to try and like dispel anything from my hands that caught from him. Just kind of looking shocked.
Both of you also have little bits of goblin on you from when they spit at you.
Yeah, I'd kind of like wipe that off and look kind of, well, you know what they say about halflings.
And what's that?
If you're not careful, you'll only end up half yourself. They'll eat you.
Mm-hmm.
They eat people.
They eat goblins, that's for sure.
Just lots from the east. I didn't really have that much dealings with them down in the caves. But where did they come from?
Is there any indication of which direction they came from?
Yeah. These seems to be the footsteps that you were following right before.
Aha. Yeah, they were. They came from where we came from. They were headed this direction. So.
Do you think they're alone?
I don't think we'll see. I don't think we'll see another one. At least, not for a bit.
Okay.
He says confidently, overconfidently.
Based on your prior experience, like this is a rare encounter. Like it happens to come across these like forward kind of scouts or saboteurs or whatever they were doing. But it's not unheard of. But you probably, like, based on your prior experience, it's very unlikely you'll come across one more right now.
These look like scouts. There'll be people waiting on them, and when they don't get their message back, they'll move along.
Well, we better move along too. I'd kind of like eye them to see if I could see anything obvious that I could like steal, that I could like make into a little thing, but I doubt that. Like, I wouldn't look too hard because they're all kind of gross and visceral.
Yeah, so there's like the clothes they are wearing are bloodied, not only from their own blood but from the goblin's blood. So there's not much to salvage there. You do, however, find a note. Do you speak halfling?
Nope.
No.
I speak Dwarvish.
Yep. So you don't really understand what the note says, but you found a note.
Do you speak halfling?
I am checking.
That would be wild.
I don't think so. So yeah, no, actually, I don't get any languages for my background. So I only speak Common and Elvish.
I see.
I speak Common, Gnomish, and Dwarvish.
Mm-hmm.
I would put the note away in my bag for later.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thing. Then I'd look to Randovan to ask where now.
Well, and I am actually I'm gonna start rooting through the corpses. Like grab their scimitars and their crossbows.
Mm-hmm.
Weapons are they're not necessarily hard to come by, but they're not something you leave sitting around. That's for sure.
Yeah. There's always a little bit of a hard time choosing of what sort of equipment should be transported from the mainland. Like you need food, you need other sort of supplies. So any sort of weaponry to be salvaged is useful.
So it's 2 scimitars and 2 light crossbows.
Yep. And of course they're solid goddamn armor. Right. So you have cleared this encounter, and not much more to be found here. So what do you wish to do?
I will take a moment and just kind of kneel down onto one knee, and in Elvish I will speak a tiny prayer to. Hold on 1 second, because I have it over here. It's Gorgola, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I almost said yes in Swedish.
And I will use Lay on Hands to heal myself for 3 hit points.
Yeah.
I'd probably kind of do the same. I'd be kind of pulling at the arrow that was shot at me, and kind of sitting at a tree, and I'd sort of just be rubbing at the hole, and I would cast cure wounds.
Cure wounds?
Yeah.
How do you have access to cure wounds?
She's Divine Soul.
Oh, okay, cool.
And at the same time, I'd kind of be fiddling with the hole that it made in my clothing, and sort of I would get a needle and thread out, and I'd unknowingly cast mending, but I'd fix my clothing as well.
Yeah, you use your very God-given skill of fixing clothing.
Yeah.
Everyone is surprised how you do that.
Yeah, I'm just kind of like it's normal to me. It doesn't look like I'm surprised or anything, but yeah, it's like the mend is just really good. I'd kind of be there with a needle and thread, but if anyone was watching really carefully, the needle and thread isn't doing much. It's just sort of mending itself as I kind of fiddle with it. Yeah, so yeah. So
I come over and I look at it where it was, and I kind of take my finger. You are really good at that. I've never seen the seamstress that doesn't leave a seam.
Well, I don't know. It's just the way my mum taught me to sew.
It's very impressive.
Yeah, it's kind of like weaving, I guess. Do you need anything fixing?
No, I think I'm all right. I mean, there's a little.
There's a hole from the crossbow bolt.
And he's trying to just pull his cloak over it, and no, I'm fine.
Okay. Yeah, that like
War wounds are scars. Battle scars are stories that you tell people, make them impressed with you.
oh, my skin doesn't seem to scar. I think I'm really good at first aid too. Like I bandaged up my shoulder and it's feeling a lot better now.
Yeah, so it's strange. Like even though there's like cure wounds and stuff in the well, most of the time it like leaves some sort of scar, even if it's just a prickle. But Elfie, your skin doesn't seem to work the same way for you.
Yeah. I mean, good as new. It must not have hit me. So it must have just glanced off or something. Weird about the hole though, but I mean, let's take it while we can, right?
It's like it never happened.
Maybe it didn't. Maybe I ripped it, and just the shock of it. I don't know.
I look back over at the halfling still twitching on the ground. Yeah, the shock of it, I'm sure.
Poor choice of words, and I'd kind of look really awkward and kind of like cringing about it, and I'd look guiltily at the halfling, and then back at Randall, like, can we leave? I don't want to stay here.
Sure. And let's head on up the path just a bit. And you said it's getting close to night, right?
It's getting dark, but you're can't tell for sure, but you like it should be very close to the camp at this point.
Let's press on. We can make it the rest of the way.
Okay, but I mean, you know that little thing that I do where people don't see me as a gnome? I'm just feeling really tired. I don't think I can do that, so I'm gonna have to stay hidden.
Oh. I didn't realize that took a lot of effort from you. I thought that was just a thing you do.
You mean to change the color of my skin and my features and everything? Yeah, that I don't know how I do it, but it takes a little bit of stuff from me.
We've all of our little ghost stories that we get told growing up or make it seem like that's just a thing that happens.
Well, I don't know what to tell you.
Well, then stay hidden. Surely you can just pull your cloak up. We'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll just stay close, and I mean, who's gonna want to look at me anyway, right?
So also something you guys know is that it's not unheard of for people from this continent, like the reformed evil, so to say, to be joining this fight. So while there would be a lot against you in the camp you're coming to, it wouldn't be too extraordinary for someone of your look to be over there.
Okay. I'd still be nervous and just kind of like hang around.
Yep.
Because I wouldn't necessarily know that myself. So yeah, I would kind of just hang around Ramblin'.
And you've and I'll point to your bag. You've also got a few tricks up your sleeve if anything goes weird.
Oh yeah. I've got this. I've been working on this. This trap. Yeah, I've still got that trap and some bits from the beaches and things. I kind of need some time to look at them, but I can do that later.
Worst comes to worst, we'll spin up a tale. We'll be fine.
Okay.
And we head off towards the camp.
Yep. And it indeed doesn't take very long. It's just a half an hour's walk from this point, as the sun is upset. You see this camp. It's It's not as big as the one you come from, but it's a bit more orderly. It looks a bit nicer. There's a lot of like training grounds set up, but there's more forest around here. Both of you know where you are currently closer to the border of the elf kingdoms, and you need to go a little bit inland to get here. So the ruins that you see are from more ordained places, and they've actually even acquired some of the old elven structures for the officer quarters. As you now see the camp in the distance, where people are, not really partying, but more like relaxing after a day's work. So how do you approach now, considering your constitution, Drew? How do the two of you go?
Well, I mean, I got rid of one of my healing slots earlier today, so I don't have, spell slots from the morning, which is why I can't do disguise self again. But I would kind of just walk at Ranlaven's side. I'd kind of like square myself up a bit. I'd probably kind of give myself a pep talk and accidentally cast guidance on myself. I know it only lasts a minute, but like, you know, it kind of makes me feel a bit more confident. So I would do that and like just try to like hold my head up high, but also keep it under the cloak sort of thing, and just try and, you know, think, you know, just staying close to Ranlaven as we walk in.
I kind of shift my shoulder a little bit so that the hole is showing in my armor, and carrying like carrying the note in my hand, heading towards where the center of the camp where the leader's tent would be.
And you head towards the leader's tent, and do you do the customary entry words such as it was down there?
Yes, and proper respect to whoever is leading this camp.
Yep. So you say Sergeant Ranlaven Eldamari reporting, and you hear back, Captain Eldamari offers you to enter.
Ah, and I do.
Yes. So, in front of you, as you've seen so many times before, in very, very ordained armor, very heavy, stands your mother, who is the captain of the Gorgola Orkanti division, and he says, "Son."
I bring news from. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm terrible with names. My camp.
Yeah, that would be the Cassandra Lord Reaper camp.
And I hand her the note, and I step back.
Mm-hmm. I didn't see the boat come in. Did you take the walk?
Yes. Unfortunately, my new recruit is not as long-legged as we are.
He looks towards Elfie.
I kind of like look up at Ranlaven, like, how dare you insult me? And then I kind of remember my place and sort of look down at the floor again, just sort of like.
Yep.
Yeah.
And she says, "Well, that's what to be expected when you bring a goblin."
I'd kind of like keep my hood down and sort of shrink behind Ranlaven a little bit.
She opens the letter that she received, and she reads it for a little bit. Each of you make an insight check. You can do it with the advantage relevant because it's your mother.
Has it been a minute since we walked into the camp?
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah, so I don't get my guidance. Insight.
Yeah. Nice. The DC was 15, so you both make it. You realize that these news are a bit troubling to her. You see a little bit of a frown as she looks up from the letter and says, "I have a mission for the two of you, and that's where we're going to end tonight's session."
Ooh,
Nice.
Nice. Cool. That's fun.
Yep. Nice. Yeah, the idea is that we're gonna try to do this every other week. Real life being our problem pending.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Cool. Thanks, Korky. That was
sorry,
fun.
go on. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. That was excellent.
Thank you very much. Now I'm also know better how Foundry works.
Yeah. It's just going to get better and better, guys, when you see us. But yeah, usually it'll be about 3 p.m. GMT. We'll start every other Sunday, and check our Discords if there are any issues. We will let you know there. But let me just give a shout out to Korky because he's done a fantastic job today.
Oh, thank you. Are you going to keep streaming, Drew?
No, I am going to end. Is this going to work?
Yep, and I'm going to do some myself. Hope everyone had a fun time watching, and we'll be back.
Oh, do you want to know what FrostyTools.com said about you, Korky?
Frosty what?
Frosty Tools. So I've got this add-on in my chat that kind of does all these things, and when you give someone a shout out, they summarize the streamer. So it says, join Korkiprophet, the gaming oracle with a sidekick named Kraut, who's definitely not evil, for a wild ride of creativity and dice rolling adventures. They've been mastering the art of construction in one game and diving beak first into their inaugural D&D campaign with Druin. With ADHD energy fueling the fun, every stream is an unpredictable quest filled with moments and Bob Ross vibes. Whatever that is.
All right. That's pretty cool.
It's really scary, this AI stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, that's fun. But yeah, I am gonna end it and just chat with the two of you just to give a post talk about the session.
Yeah. Cool.
So thanks for today, everyone.
Yes, thanks, guys.
I hope to be around in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Suddenly I have grey hair. I do have grey hair. But thank you so much, guys. I will be back on Tuesday for some community stuff. Maybe Power World, maybe some Don't Starve. We'll see. Maybe we can get Korky in on doing some Don't Starve bingo again. But I am heading off, so see you guys later. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, for more D&D, we'll be back on